Last January, I decided to take a solo winter camping trip in Montana. I wanted something different. Just me, a tent, snow, and silence. I had done plenty of summer camping, but winter is a whole different world. The mountains are quiet, the roads empty, and the wind. It has a way of cutting straight through your jacket. I left early in the morning, heading up the highway before sunrise. By the time I reached the forest roads, the sun had just peeked over the horizon, making the snow sparkle like it was full of tiny diamonds. Everything was beautiful, almost surreal. I had my tent, my backpack, some canned food, and a small propane stove. I'd parked my car near a trailhead, planning to hike a few miles and set up camp somewhere remote. I thought I was prepared. I thought I could handle the isolation. By late afternoon, I found the spot. A small clearing surrounded by tall pine trees, untouched by snowmobiles or footprints. It was perfect. I pitched my tent, set up my stove, and started a small fire. The first night was peaceful. The snow fell softly. The wind whispered through the trees, and I felt free. Like I'd left the world behind. But around 11 p.m. I heard something. At first I told myself it was the forest, maybe a deer, a branch snapping, the snow shifting. But then it repeated, a faint crunch in the snow, like someone walking. Slow, deliberate. Not far, not a mile away. Close enough that the crunch of snow was distinct. I froze. My heart started beating faster. I was alone. I knew I was alone. And yet, it sounded like someone was walking toward me. I grabbed my flashlight and aimed it into the tree line. Nothing. Just shadows, snow, and the faint outline of pine trees. I tried to shake it off. Maybe it was an animal. Maybe I was imagining it. I told myself these things to stay calm, but I couldn't stop checking every few minutes. Hours passed. The snow muffled everything. The crunching stopped. I eventually fell asleep. The next morning, I found footprints. Human footprints. Barely 2 miles from my camp, leading toward me. Deep, heavy steps. They stopped at the tree line near my tent. I didn't tell anyone. There was no one I could tell. And besides, I told myself again, maybe someone else was camping nearby, maybe a hiker. I didn't panic. Not yet. I packed up my camp slowly, checking my surroundings constantly. I kept my eyes on the tree line, watching for movement. I didn't see anyone. I started hiking down the trail toward my car. The snow had started falling heavier, visibility dropping, and that's when I saw him. He was standing among the trees, just outside the edge of the clearing. Tall, dressed in dark clothes, no snow gear, no backpack, just standing, watching. I froze. I tried to tell myself it was a shadow, a trick of the snow and light, but he moved, slowly, toward me. I turned and started walking, quickly. I didn't run, not yet. I needed to think, needed to stay calm. He followed. Every few steps I would look back. Every time he was closer. His face was obscured by a hood, but I could see the outline of his hands. Empty. No weapon, I think. But at that point, I didn't care. I realized then how small and exposed I was. The snow was deep. My boots were slipping. If I stopped, even for a second, I could be trapped. I started running. Branches whipped my face. Snow soaked through my jacket. I ran as quietly as I could through the snow, hoping he wasn't close enough to hear. But I knew he was. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. Time lost all meaning. Finally, I reached a snowed-in service road I recognized. I ran toward it, hoping to see my car, hoping someone would be there, hoping anything. And then I tripped. The snow swallowed my fall, but I landed hard on my side. I scrambled to my feet, heart hammering, and looked back. He was there, standing in the snow, just watching. He didn't run. He didn't approach. He just waited. I don't know why. Maybe he was testing me. Maybe he didn't need to do anything. All I knew was I couldn't stop. I ran harder, slipping and sliding, until I finally saw the trailhead. My car. My life raft in this frozen wilderness. I unlocked it, jumped in, and started the engine. He didn't follow. He didn't move. And then somehow, he He vanished into the white of the snowstorm. I drove as fast as I could down the mountain roads, hands shaking on the wheel, snow hitting the windshield like bullets. I didn't stop until I reached the next town. Even now, months later, I think about that night. I don't know who he was. I don't know what he wanted. Maybe he was a hunter, maybe a squatter, maybe someone else entirely. All I know is that he could have ended it, or followed me. And he didn't. I survived. I made it home. But I'll never go camping alone in the winter again. And when I see snow falling quietly, I remember the crunch in the trees. And I remember how small I felt. Sometimes I think about him, and I hope I never see him again. If this creeped you out, hit like and share for more.